We need to talk about Sirens on Netflix. Oh my gosh. Last night I just got done watching all 5 episodes, and there's 2 questions that are just swirling around in my head, okay? Number one, was Simone wrong for her decision that she made at the end, right? I keep thinking about that, and I'm thinking, like, would I have done the same thing if I was in Simone's shoes, right? So that's number one. And number two, I keep thinking about which sister was right, which one was wrong, right? So am I team Devon or am I team Simone? But there will be spoilers in this video, as you can probably tell, right? Let me introduce myself. My name is Brandi, and I realize that you could be on any channel in the world right now, but you're right here with me, and I really do appreciate that. So before we get started, go ahead and like this video, and also subscribe to my channel if you do like watching TV show reviews and also movie reviews. Now, I would like to just start off with just a high-level review of Sirens, right? Overall, I would rate this show a solid 8 over 10. Like, I was very entertained all 5 episodes watching this. And it was so many twists and turns. It was so many times that I thought the show was going in one direction and then they switched and went to another direction, right? I like the title Sirens, and just thinking the whole show, like, who was the siren? Only to just uncover at the end, like, none of the women really were sirens, in my opinion. And the men were just blaming the women for everything, right? And we might get more into that later on too, right? I enjoyed the character, all of their chemistry in this series so much. And I especially loved Jose. Like, special shout out to Jose. He was so funny. All right. But let's get right into that ending, okay? And Simone's decision to end up with Peter. All right, so let's go towards the end of Sirens. We see that Kiki receives a picture from a photographer at Vanity Fair of what appears to be Peter and Simone kissing, okay? But what she doesn't know is that Peter initiated that kiss with Simone, and Simone rejected him and, pulled away from him. But she can't see all of that from the picture. And the Vanity Fair guy, obviously, he just wants money from her, trying to blackmail her unless the photograph will go public, right? So Kiki, she agrees to pay off the photographer. She leaves the picture of the kiss in Simone's room, and then she comes in a few minutes later, and Simone is just... she's beside herself. She's crying. She's really upset. She does not want to leave the Cliff House, okay? So Kiki fires Simone. She already had her boxes packed and she has to go, right? And we also see that Kiki, she doesn't tell Peter the truth about why she fired Simone. She actually tells Peter, like, oh, she stole something. I caught her red-handed. She stole a piece of jewelry, okay? So Peter is in the dark. He doesn't know why Simone was actually fired at this point, okay? So fast forward, and we see Simone having a conversation with her father, and he says to her, which was a turning point in the series for me, he says to her, Devon is going away, and it'll just be me and you. I'll do better this time, right? And that really struck a chord with Simone, okay? Simone's father damn near abandoned her after their mother committed suicide. He was clinically depressed. He was not taking care of Simone at all. I mean, she was literally starving. He was not feeding her. He was not clothing her. He was not being the father that he was supposed to be with her, okay? And she has a lot of trauma from that. So for her hearing, like, she's about to go back to Buffalo with her dad, I think that set off an alarm in her head, okay? And she felt like she needed to do something urgently to stay at the Cliff House, okay? After that conversation with her dad, Simone decides to go back to the Cliff House and summon Peter from his window. So she's outside, Peter's inside, and he comes out to talk to her. And we find out that Simone discloses to him that Kiki has a very incriminating photo of them actually kissing, and that Kiki is holding on to that photo so she could later get millions in a divorce settlement, okay? Because remember, Kiki gets nothing in a divorce settlement because she did not have children, okay? Her prenup was tight. Her prenup was not in her favor at all, okay? So Simone tells Peter this, okay? And then we later see Peter, he summons Jose, my boy, and Jose is like, man, we're going to do this again? You ready? It's about to get chaotic, right? So then they proceed to gather up Kiki from the gala, pull her into the kitchen separately, and Peter basically tells her he wants a divorce. Like, you had this incriminating photo of me. You kept me from my children all of these years, which is some BS. Like, nobody could keep you from your kids. Like, The men in this show, that could be a whole nother video. The men in this show were blaming the women for everything, okay? Nobody could keep you from your kids but you, okay? But then he tells Kiki like he wants a divorce, and he might even go ahead and have another baby, right? And then we see Simone coming down the stairwell looking beautiful and elegant in a satin silky dress that Kiki actually had made for her, right? And it's in that moment that Kiki realizes that, oh my God, Simone is about to take my place. Peter is about to end up with Simone, okay? Michaela, in my opinion, she was real cool about the situation, right? At least cool in that moment. She played it off really well, very smooth. She did not make a scene, okay? She just exited. All right. And then we see Simone. She has a conversation with Devon, and Devon is so disappointed that her sister would just be with Peter, you know, like Simone was Michaela's friend, more so than just her assistant. Like Kiki was, again, just a mother figure, in my opinion, to Simone. And for Simone to just think that she could take Kiki's spot like that, you know? So at first, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, this ending is crazy. You know, like just first of all, I did not see that coming. I didn't even see that they were in love at all. In fact, I really don't think that Simone actually likes Peter, but I do think that Peter loves Simone, and he likes her a lot, and he wants to pursue her a lot too because of something that his friend Ethan said to her. If you remember, they were at a dinner, and Ethan disclosed that Simone was like the best that he ever had in bed, and I think that really intrigued Peter. And not only Ethan mentioning that about how she was in bed, I think that he saw how even Kiki gravitated towards Simone, and he knew that Simone could take care of the birds. He knew that Simone could run the business. Like Simone was like a perfect replacement for Kiki, and plus she was 25 years old and she could probably have kids for him, okay? But now we get to the question, was Simone wrong? I am struggling with this, right? Let me say this. I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. 25-year-old Simone, just having a conversation with her dad that she might have to go back to Buffalo and she's going to be with him alone while Devon's away, right? I think in that moment, Simone panicked. I honestly do. You know, what she did was wrong, you know, totally. Like she showed that she has no moral compass, especially because Michaela was her friend. Again, just a maternal figure to her. And just to take her husband like that, that is sick, okay? But not only that, I feel like she betrayed Ethan in a way too. Although her and Ethan were not together anymore, that was Ethan's best friend. So you were just with Ethan and now you're with Peter. You know, I know a lot of people don't care about that, but to me, that's a betrayal as well. And I think she's betraying herself because she does not like Peter in a romantic type of way at all. But listen, she was looking for a come up. She does not want to go back to Buffalo. That's essentially like her going back to the hood. She's sliding all the way back, okay? Poverty stricken, depression, you know, horrible house, horrible conditions. She does not want to go back. She has fought so hard to get where she's at, okay? But would I have done the same thing? No, I don't think so. I think Simone could have played her cards a little differently to get back in that Cliff House. For one, Peter knew her value as an employee, right? Peter knew that she could run the businesses, she could handle the staff. Simone could damn near do everything that Kiki could do, right? Because Kiki trained her well. And I think she could have just got her job back through Peter. Like, Simone, why not just get your job back, right? You don't need to be with this man. And Kiki already told you earlier, like, to be Mrs. Somebody is not as great as it appears, right? Your world becomes very small. Kiki put her up on game. So for her to move forward with Peter, to me, just blew my mind. And in some aspects, that's why I gave the show an 8/10 too, because that was kind of unbelievable that they just ended up together so quickly. Okay. So again, if it was me, I would just try to get my job back just to get back in a Cliff House, just to buy time to figure out what I'm going to do next, right? Because I can't end up back in Buffalo with my dad. That's not an option. So just to buy time to find out what I'm going to do, but I would not be romantically involved with Peter in any way, even if he is a billionaire. I mean, Simone's a bright girl. Like, she could carve out a future for herself. So was Simone wrong? She was wrong in a lot of ways, but I think it was understandable what she did because she's 25 years old and she is terrified of going back to Buffalo with her dad, and she's just traumatized from her childhood, okay? So in a lot of ways, I excuse her behavior. And in fact, Michaela actually excused her behavior as well, as we see later on a boat. As Kiki and Devon, they just happen to see each other on a boat as Michaela and Devon are leaving the island. And Michaela said something like, Simone, she's not a monster. She's not, and I agree. I don't think Simone is a monster. I just think that survival instinct just kicked in, and hopefully we get a season 2 and we can see that Simone changed her mind. It was just an impulsive decision in that moment, okay? Okay, so now let's talk about Devon versus Simone. Guys, comment down below. You don't have to wait to the end of the video. Just let me know, which sister do you prefer? Which one resonates with you more with their decision making, okay? This morning I pulled up like that attachment style grid. I'm going to try to pop it up here on the screen, right? And I was trying to figure out like which grid did each sister belong in, okay? Now, I'm not a psychologist in any way, shape, or form, right? But I do think that Devon, she was very anxious, right? Very anxious. She needed a lot of reassurance. And she had a strong fear of rejection and abandonment, okay? And also, though, I think that Simone had a strong fear of rejection and abandonment, too, right? We see that in several ways, and she's unsure of what she wants and what she needs, okay? So I would say Simone was probably more disorganized and that Devon was more anxious, okay? But let me know your thoughts below because, again, I'm no psychologist. I don't know. But I just needed some kind of way to try to compare these sisters, okay? But also what I see in Simone is just a young lady just trying to run from her past, okay? She got rid of her tattoo. She got a nose job, right? She's trying to fit into high society, okay? She loves being at the Cliff House. Like, she got a glimpse of that life, and that's what she wants for herself, right? And we see Devon, right? She's still back home. She feels obligated to take care of her ailing father that has dementia, although he was not a good father to them when they were younger, and he's still not a good father at this point either, right? So he doesn't even deserve Devon, and he doesn't deserve Simone as well. So if I had to look at both sisters and, just see which one I prefer over the other, I would actually say that I'm Team Simone, okay? Because I don't like the way Devon actually, had the audacity just to come to Simone's job, barge in. I mean, Simone could have got fired. Anything could have happened, okay? And she just had the entitlement to just take Simone out of that situation and try to put her right back in the epicenter of her trauma, of her stressful childhood. How could you try to take her back to her father when she expressed to you her feelings about her father and the abandonment that she experienced? Yes, Devon, she saved her life, like physically. When Simone was 7 years old, their mother tried to commit suicide via carbon monoxide poisoning. And Simone was in the back seat of the car when her mom committed suicide, okay? So Devon, she rushed out and she actually rushed Simone to the hospital, okay? Which, I mean, any big sister would do that, right? I really believe that, right? And Devon just has this entitlement that Simone owes her so much. And to me also, Devon is just a fixer. She likes to fix things, okay? So she's trying to fix Simone. She's trying to fix her dad, but she's not fixing herself and her addictions that she has. She has addiction to alcohol, sex. Although I don't really think she has addiction to sex. That's a whole nother story. I just think she uses sex when she wants to have a drink. Okay, so she's trying to avoid drinking addiction and she goes over to another addiction, but that's another story. I thought that was interesting that she was such a flawed character, and I thought she was funny as hell in this series too. Like, I loved watching Devon on the screen. Nonetheless, a little annoying at times, but I really enjoyed watching her, okay? But nonetheless, I would have to be Team Simone at the end of the day, okay? Again, don't agree with her being in a romantic relationship with Peter, but I totally understand her decisions, okay? And guys, let me know your thoughts down below, all right? And do me a favor, let me know what other shows you guys are watching right now, all right? And if you made it this far in the video, please go ahead and like this video. And again, subscribe to the channel if you do like watching TV show reviews and also movie reviews. See you on the next video. Peace.